Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are going to do a short little review and then I'll talk a little bit about the current book that I'm reading. That sounds interesting. Stick around. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to do the book stuff a little more frequently as I've actually been reading things recently, so it's been a little bit easier. Last year I attempted to start this and failed miserably. Like this book that we're talking about was purchased last year. Read about one chapter and then never touched it, but this is the first one. That's the second one. Yeah, so we're gonna get into that. If that sounds interesting, stick around. If you're new, welcome. Let's jump into the video. Had some issues with like headaches and stuff, so sometimes my words get jumbled. Just roll with it. I'm going to do the best that I can. So let's start off with the book that I actually read. And when I picked it back up, let's see, when I read it the first time, or started reading it the first time, I think I read maybe 2 or 3 chapters. So I reread those up to 4. And then I got a good chunk in, and then I pretty much, so I want to say I was able to read it in like 2 good sized sittings. I cut hair. We're in our summer season. Sometimes it's slow, so I've been able to read. So I was able to read this at work, but this is The Witch of Halloween House by Jeff DeGordick. I'm going to butcher his name right now because, like I said, sometimes speaking lately has been a struggle, but here's the book. I'm going to be honest, when I got this, didn't have high expectations. I think that's why I kind of didn't really let myself get into it. I stumbled upon this. I follow Jade the Libra on YouTube, and she used to do a book club. I think it's something she'll probably get back into at some point, but this was before she had her baby, and then obviously after she had the baby, she hasn't been doing it, but that's how I found this. This is one of the book club books for the month. And it was actually really good. Once I got into it, it was good enough that when I was done, I went and looked him up. His books are on Amazon. I don't know if he has his own website. I'm sure he may. I didn't look into it too hard, but there was a sequel, so I ordered it immediately. So that's what I'm currently reading. I had another book that I was going to start, and I liked it enough that I immediately was like, oh, there's a second one? Immediately, yes. So it's really good. Takes place in a small, like, I picture somewhere like in Salem, like New England, a small New England town. That's what I picture in my head. Small town. There's a sheriff, and then his teenage daughter, who's about maybe 15, 16. I don't remember if it says how old she is exactly or if it just infers it. She's in high school. Her brother is 8. I think they do say how old he is, but I don't recall how old she is. I want to say 15 or 16 possibly, but they're the main characters. There's a witch. Bad things start happening in town. It's perfect for like Halloween, spooky season, so definitely recommend. And then how far? I'm not very far into this. Like I've read 2 chapters, so same town. It picks up almost a year after the story in this book. More witches. Takes place again around Halloween. So there's a lot of like autumn decor visualizations in the book, a lot of like jack-o'-lanterns, there's witches, stuff starts happening again. This book has a witch, and then this book, I'm not going to say it's really a spoiler because they get into it in the first chapter. There's 3 witches that show up. I'm not going to spoil the ending, by the way, but there's 3 witches that show up at the very beginning that very much remind me of the crones, the 3 crones from Greek mythology. If you're not familiar, I would look that up. But that's what I think of, and I don't know if that's where he was going because, again, I'm not very far into it, but that's kind of what I think about when the 3, and like I said, they show up immediately, so I'm not spoiling anything. But Cameron and Tommy are the main characters. The dad's still the sheriff, so yeah, I'm super excited. It should be able, if I'm able to read relatively quick. His books are, well, at least his book, I say his books, the first 2 chapters of this were just as well written as this. If you're an avid reader and you're someone that reads a lot, you could probably read this in a day. They're not, how many pages is this? It's just under 300, so it's 250, but has really good flow, and I'm just getting back into reading. I used to read a ton when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, but I'm trying to get back into it. So the pace on this was really good. The story grabbed you. It's really fast paced. So yeah, if you're an avid reader or fast reader, probably read this in an evening, but yeah, they're worth reading. He has other books on Amazon other than these two, so definitely I will try and link him down below if I remember, but I will at least put the name, his name and the book titles in the description, and then I will try and link. He has an Amazon store, so yeah, definitely check him out. So that's all I have for right now. I have not read a ton, but I consider a single book a win, and like I said, I liked it enough that as soon as I was done, I was still at work, because I finished reading this at like 1 o'clock and I was working until 4, and I was like, man, I should have brought a second book, but I looked him up and immediately ordered the second one. So, and it came really quick. It was like 2 days. I ordered it on Thursday. I want to say it showed up that Sunday. So it came relatively fast. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Definitely check him out if you want some good spooky books. And thank you for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye, everybody.